younger, success often has a very clear scorecard. Promotions, titles, income, recognition, those things matter because they represent progress and possibility. But somewhere along the line, the definition starts to change. In this clip with Stacy Sutton, she shares how her own view of success has evolved from chasing external validation to intentionally designing a life built around purpose, flexibility, and enjoying each day. We also explored something many experienced professionals are wrestling with right now, whether to keep climbing the same career ladder or build something entirely new. If you've ever wondered whether it's too late to reinvent yourself or if your next chapter might look completely different than your last one, this episode is for you.
What does success mean to me now versus 20 years ago? So 20 years ago, mid career, early to mid career, it was all, of course, money and titles and accolades and respect. Um, and I mostly had that when I had my agency, and not gonna lie, I loved it. That was a real high point, and not just because of those things, but I learned so much and I grew so much, and I'm a different person than I was before that experience. Today, obviously, still need enough money to live, but not as worried about status symbols, not as worried about what other people think about me. Boy, that's a blessing of getting older. Really just want to be authentic and live with purpose and meaning and help other people and be around people I like. And I had a friend the other day say, well, by the time you get to our age, the goal should just be to enjoy your days. And I that really stuck with me. And I don't mean in a rocking chair on a porch crocheting, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think, you know, I'm not as forward looking. I'm still forward looking, but it's like, okay, today, how can I, you know, have some peace during this day, do something fun during this day, talk to somebody I care about during this day, versus always looking ahead, looking ahead, looking ahead.
I don't know if you're like this or if this is in your mind what I'm going through, and I don't, if it is, I'd like to hear more. Like, I have two degrees. I have a marketing degree and a writing degree, and I've used both of them, but I've not used that writing degree the way I wanted to. The way I have over 15 books, as I mentioned, in my Google Drive that are all started, and I want to write every single one of them and the 20 more ideas that I get between
Mhm.
now and next week. Um, and so I have to go, do I keep hustling to get the consulting gigs, or do I figure out how to monetize my writing? Do I
Mm.
basically start a whole new career? Um,
Well, Sherry, this, my, reinventing myself yet again at my
mhm.
age, done this multiple times. I'm this is the start of a portfolio career for me. This is a new term I learned recently, and a friend of mine looked at me funny when I said portfolio career, and she said, "Is that what other people call hustling?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, it is." But I'm on step one. I've got a multi-part plan of other things I want to learn and do to integrate into this, because first of all, I feel like most people should have multiple sources of income for all the reasons we talked about earlier. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with the economy, with AI, with geopolitical issues, et cetera. Um, and the things I want to do all help inform each other. So I think they'll all make me a better fractional CMO and give me control over my future. And, something's working, you dial it up. Something else isn't working, you dial it back, and give me freedom and flexibility and financial security. And honestly, I'm super excited that at this age, I have a whole future plan, that I'm going after that involves learning and growing and getting out of my comfort zone. And I'm just getting started, honestly.
One of my favorite ideas from this conversation is that reinvention isn't something you survive, it's something you choose. Stacy reminds us that success isn't a fixed destination. It's a moving target that changes as we grow. What once looked like titles and status can become purpose, freedom, meaningful work, and simply enjoying the day we're living right now. Whether you're considering a portfolio career, writing that book you've been putting off, or simply defining what success means on your own terms, I hope today's conversation gives you permission to imagine what's next. Because the greatest chapter doesn't have to be behind you, it might just be the one you're brave enough to start today. Thanks for listening.